All right, recording. Oh, wait, one thing I've been using lately. Hey, Siri, set a timer for 1 hour. Ha ha! Boom, Siri. Good work.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. Welcome, guys. I'm Sean Thomas. This is...
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to ruin it. What perfect starting.
Let's try that again. All right. I'm Sean Thomas, and this is...
You keep trying it, bro.
Oh, get it together. Come on.
Bro, this whole
Woosah.
time we spent about 20 minutes setting up and
Prepping.
not one sneeze. And the second you said let's record, my body's like, hay fever. Yeah, I feel that today.
Good Lord, man. All right. Are you together? You got it?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, bro.
You good?
We'll see,
You
bro.
done or are you finished?
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, guys. This is the... see, then I forget the name of the show, bro.
Keeping up with nothing.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. I'm Sean. This is...
Shaf.
And we often, since I knew Shaf, we have conversations about absolutely nothing, but we seem to get so passionate and care about it, even though it means nothing. And now we're just going to record one of them.
Yeah. And then now, obviously, now that we're recording, we're literally going to have nothing to talk about. And then we're going to be like...
Yeah, we're going to... All right, you know what? Something just came across my mind. This is about to get really deep, though, bro.
All right, because I've got something really like on my mind as well, but it ain't deep. Well, it depends on where it goes, but yeah.
Should we start with the non-deep and then get deep?
Yeah, go on then. Let's do that.
No, so then you have to give me the non-deep first,
All right,
then
cool,
I'll give you the deep.
So earlier, when you were getting ready, you're like, no, I got to hide my dildos, right? So I said it could get deep, but I mean, it all depends on context. Right? And then I got to thinking, really though, everyone knows everyone has sex. Everyone knows that everyone masturbates. Everyone knows that. Why is it that it is basically okay and probably encouraged for women to be able to be like, yeah, I got dildos, I got vibrators, I got to play with myself, whatever. But if a man them ever goes, cool, I want a fleshlight, what the fuck is wrong with you, bruh?
Yeah, and you know what's crazy about that, right? Is the fact that you know, we have the stigma that men will sleep with anything because we're just that desperate.
Right.
But yet we're not even allowed to have anything that like can alleviate that stress, so to say.
Know what I'm saying? So it just got to me. I was just like, hold up. Because like, actually, there's times where, you know, you'll be with a woman or whatever, and they want to do some of the more kinkier stuff and they want to play with toys. And you're like, all right, cool, let's do this. Yeah. We get out the strap on, you know, overcompensate for the penis, no problem. Yeah, we get the dildos out. We do it all. And it's like, yeah, cool. If a man ever said to a woman, yeah, I want you to wear that fleshlight for me. Put it inside you. I want you to wear that fleshlight. I want to feel that porn star pussy that I paid for, but inside you. Oh, what the fuck?
That is actually crazy. Because to be honest, I would kind of judge someone if my friend came up to me and was like, hey, bro, yesterday I took out my fleshlight and we just got down. I'd be like, you took out what? I'm going to judge you. I'm not going to lie.
And so would I. I'm not even going to deny it. So would I. I would happily judge. I would sit there laughing at the person. I'm not going to lie. But here's the thing. If a woman had a dildo made of some porn star or whatever, and like it was like, and she asked you to play with it, you'd be like, yeah, cool. No problem. That's not a problem. Like, you know, foreplay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. If you asked that same woman to insert a fleshlight into her so you could fuck a porn star pussy or whatever pussy that was available, because I'm pretty sure they do them things now, where they like take like molds of a pum and then make it into a fleshlight. Yeah. And if you were gonna say, right, insert that so I can do my thing, no, whoa.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like, for me, I don't know, because maybe that's just goes to show how unvaluable or like dick is just not worth anything nowadays. It's just not worth anything.
There was a time where it was worth something.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, I'm sure in the days of kings and queens, you know, your grace's penis. But
no, but that's not the dick though, bro. Yeah, that's the hierarchy.
That's the person attached to the penis. Because vagina's so valuable that we can't even have anything around that will be close to it if we're in a situation.
100%.
So if we're in the bedroom, why are you bringing this foolishness? You know what I mean? It's like, Do you not know I have a vagina?
Oh, trust me. I believe you. I know you do. But you know, it's nice not to cheat. It's nice to try something different. But I'm using you.
Yeah, but I don't know. Would you ever buy a flashlight?
No, I couldn't do it, bro. I think that's for
So-
losers.
After all of that,
Yo, it's for losers, bro. Imagine you've
after all
got...
of that,
All right, look, if you're single, yeah, cool. Like, you know, you need to have to feel that you're with a cool, bro. You know, get your flashlight. I'm still judging you because you've got your left hand and or your right hand. I would say left hand because you eat with the right, but if you're eating with the left, you know, whatever, right? But why? What is the need?
yeah,
As a dude,
yeah.
unfortunately or fortunately, as a dude, you can ejaculate in any way whatsoever. So there's no need for it. I would judge it entirely. But at the same time, I feel like it shouldn't be judged.
Yeah, but here's the thing though is I don't know because I don't know because to for us a woman using a toy on a solo is kind of a sexy idea.
It's very much.
But a dude using a toy solo to me is just like ugh.
Yeah, but that's because we're not
The
into
noises
dudes.
being made,
Nah,
it's just because I feel everything dudes just do is not sensual.
Let's be honest. Yeah, let's be honest. Dicks look ugly.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest. So do vagina.
Nah, bro. You're telling
So do
me.
vagina.
No way. No
So do
way.
vaginas.
You're telling me the moistness, the flaps, the lips, the every. You're telling me that don't look good?
Bro, the fact that when you said flaps, I was like, ugh. But the word flaps just doesn't sound nice.
No, okay, fine.
The flaps.
Fine. The lips, the labia.
There you go. You said it a little bit more exotic there, but still, nah, it's not for me, bro.
Bro, what?
I absolutely love vaginas, but realistically, I would not. I don't want to see pictures of them.
Nah.
Not really, nah.
Okay. So hold up. You're telling me you've never looked at a vajayjay and gone,
You know what? Because you get caught up in the moment. That's different. If it's like a moment where you're getting all, you know, sensual with it, then I get it. But other than that, nah.
Like when you're having sex and you see your penis sliding in and out of a vagina.
That's because that's the action of what's taking place.
Yeah, but it's the visual of it.
But that's my point. Compared to just get like a picture of one, like especially one with no context.
But you're telling me at the age of 13, 14, when you discover porn and you discover sexy images and
that's another funny story. But yeah, go on.
That always sounds like a good one. Man says it's a funny story.
It's a funny story.
You're telling me looking at boobs of vagina and don't go,
boobs, yeah. Vagina, not so much.
So
I need to see something happening to the vagina.
So you would take a picture of an arse over a picture of vagina.
100%.
Do you know how gay that makes you sound?
Then I am Mr. Homosexual. I do not care. I just don't care. I'd love a picture of an arse.
No,
over a vagina.
Nah,
you would prefer a picture of a vagina?
Yeah, bro, all day long.
Say word.
Bro, I could look in the mirror and see a flancake pat arse, you know. I don't care about that. A pancake flat arse, not a flancake pat arse. Either way.
But here's the thing though, that's cheating because saying a flat like saying a pancake butt, that is just like,
all right, cool. Even a badonkadonk, yeah. I'm just saying it's an arse. Like a dude could have nice arses. Boobs, yeah, more so cool. Vagina is so solely feminine. It's solely feminine.
Do you know why I like pictures of butts and asses and all of that stuff? Mainly because it's not just a butt or an ass. It's not like that's the only thing in the frame. Normally it's the whole like pose and the whole thing which is the feminine part. I believe
that, because then you got the thighs that accompany it, the ass to waist ratio.
Yeah, like I don't want just like literally just a picture of your butt. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just crack.
That's what we're talking about.
Then which one would I prefer? To be honest, I don't need either. If that was the case.
You got to make a choice, bro. You can't choose. You can't just say neither. You're copping out.
No, because if it's just butt cheeks, then that's just a line. It's literally just a line.
I agree.
So in that case, then a vagina. But still, I'm not going to look at the picture for very long.
And then
just be like,
boobs or vagina?
Like, roll the fuck on. Boobs or vagina?
Yeah,
See, are we doing the same thing again where it's just the boobs, just
correct,
in frame?
correct.
Boobs. Definitely boobs.
There's something about nipples, bro. They're nice.
Yeah, right?
Even though we got them, and I still don't understand why we have them, but they're nice.
Don't you think it would look, as someone who has really small nipples, don't you think it would look weird with no nipples at all?
Yeah, but that's only because we're growing up with nipples.
Oh, so you think if we just grew up without them, we would just understand we just not meant to have them?
Yeah.
That's cool for like when you have a flat chest, but when you've developed a chest, I work out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's kind of just weird to just have them like, shoo.
Saying that recently I realized I could engage my pectoral muscles. I could make my boobs bounce. I was so gassed, bro.
How long did you stay in front of the mirror?
Bro.
Just
I was like, bro, the whole time. It must have been at least like half an hour. I was just standing there going, "Oh my god!" I don't.
Indeed,
Bro. It felt so good.
Oh shit! All right. I'm gonna turn it deep. All
right,
because we'll be talking about vaginas for a while if we go down that road, So what my deep thought was, right? So I'm not religious, as you know. I am very spiritual, though. I believe there's something out there that is control of the whole universe, right?
Right.
Whether it favors us, as in living beings, full stop, is who's to know. But I find
if it wasn't favoring us, what is it favoring? If it wasn't favoring us.
Because of course I believe we're not the only life in the whole universe with the millions and millions of different planets. I just don't think we'll be the ones favored. Okay, I think it would just be a case of
that life force would favor another living being.
But here's the thing. This is kind of where the point is going. So the point is going to a point where life kind of has, life and the universe kind of have these rules for how life is going to be for us. And I mean that in a way that positive things, anything that happens positive in your life, anything that happens positive in your life, you have to specifically work to get it.
I don't know if that's true, but go on. Go on it.
Whereas things that happen negative can come out of the blue anytime, anyway. Like, for instance, my main example is sickness. Why is there no sickness on the other side where I could just catch this miraculous cold? We'll call it the magical cold that makes you feel good for a week.
Brother, have you never tried mushrooms?
But that's the thing, is then you have to go down the route of drugs. And when you go down the route of drugs, there's very, very nasty side effects that come with that. There's more risk, there's more so on and so forth. Because life is a weird balance between risk and reward. However, the reward is always something you have to work for.
Okay. However, if you were given reward accidentally and you didn't work for it, it wouldn't be rewarding. You wouldn't feel grateful for it. You wouldn't feel happy. It would be, right, this is just happening to me.
Exactly. But that's kind of going with my point, is the fact that the universe understands that that's the way we are wired, because of course we were probably created. And it's to a point where we're not given what we're given because, you know what, here you go, take this, because I want you guys to be happy. It's like, no, I want you guys to learn. And in order to learn, you have to work for what you want to get.
I'm listening.
For instance, if you have a kid, I don't have a kid, you don't have a kid, but we both understand, you spoil a child, the child's just going to be spoiled and not really know how to play with others or treat others or so on and so forth. However, one good way to rear a child, if that's the correct phrase,
I said rear a child.
I think I'm gonna go with it.
Not even raise a child.
No, rear one.
Get your shepherd stick out.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, good. I used the right word then. I thought I used the wrong word. That's exactly what I meant. But in the way that so you would of course let the child learn these certain lessons, and you're there enough just to protect them, the best you can, of course. But at the end of the day, if you see them on the verge of being hurt, sometimes you might have to let them get hurt.
I agree completely.
And that's why I feel like that kind of reinforces, because of course, one common thing atheists say about God is like, oh well, if he does exist, why does all bad happen? Why does so much bad happen in the world? When a lot of the bad that happens in the world is because of us.
And the thing is, I'm what I would consider to be an atheist. I don't believe in a god. I don't disbelieve in a god either.
No, I'm
Shock
kidding.
horror. I don't believe in a particular. Nor do I believe in religion. Nor do I believe there is actually a higher power. However, the one thing that religion does teach, and it is quite good, is that yeah, bad shit does happen, and yeah, we are the perpetuators of it, and it is on us to be able to pick out the good lessons from the bad. And if we then deviate to the bad, we fucked up our lesson that God is trying to teach us, and therefore eventually you get punished, whether it's through karma, whether it's through reincarnation, you end up lower, whether it's in the next life and you end up in hell or purgatory and it's bad for you, etc., etc. But the whole point of a god being there to show good is also to show bad, so you go towards the good.
Yeah, just a collection of you trying to do the right thing. And a lot of the times, for a lot of people in life, like people will come to me for advice, and it seems like they're just repeating the same circles, just with different names or different people or different areas. But it's still kind of the same lesson trying to be taught. And that's not to say I'm perfect, because I do the exact same thing. But I don't realize I'm trapped in the exact same lesson life is trying to teach me.
What lesson do you think that is that you're trapped in?
The lesson I'm trapped in? Well, it differs because it depends on stages in my life, right?
Okay, so for like, for example, you're saying like, people come at you, they ask for advice, whatever, because something bad may be happening, right? And they want to find the good. The other side to that is, how do they know that it is a bad thing though?
I would say it's a bad thing if you are unhappy in the situation you're in. I feel like everyone can do. I feel like anyone can do whatever they want, be with whoever they want to be with, be whoever they are, as long as it causes no harm to themselves or others. Because that's what, in my opinion, a sin actually is. A sin is something where if you do that, there's a chance you're either going to hurt yourself or you're going to hurt other people.
Yeah, but then the other side to that is, there are people that feel happy doing what is bad, right?
Hmm.
It gives them a sense of purpose and a sense of joy.
How many people is that really, though, bro? How many people is that really? Because those are the sociopaths that you're talking about, and those seem to be like the weirdest anomalies in the like whole universe in general. Are they
But
like
then,
balancers? Are they
but then,
what are they?
but then, are we to disregard their feelings entirely for the
They
sake
have
of?
none. They have none.
But then, but
That's
they
what
do
makes them
have feelings.
sociopaths.
They do have feelings. Their feelings
They
are
do.
unto themselves, though. Their feelings aren't about the external world. Their feelings are about making themselves feel at peace, or they're making themselves feel happy. And it doesn't matter what they do to achieve that. That's They disregard other people's feelings. That doesn't mean they don't have their own feelings.
I feel like that is a. I don't want to use the word
Narcissistic and
glitch.
selfish people are the same thing as well.
Say that again.
Narcissistic and selfish people do the same thing as well.
Yeah, but unless you have a psychological from birth, I don't want to say defect because I guess that's the wrong phrase, right? But if you have something psychological that's messing with your ability to interact with the world and others, and also yourself somewhat in terms of how you think. As for everyone else who's kind of been put into this world and through time either been traumatized or gone through something that's kind of made them need to become a character that makes them do selfish things or narcissistic things or criminal things, for instance, because like a lot of criminals I know aren't bad people.
Yeah. But their circumstances leading to such where they feel that that's
Yeah,
the only thing they can.
where they've either done bad things or they're not against really doing bad things for the outcome it's going to have. And these people aren't people who would want to do this, but that's kind of the way they're put into. And then as they're put into that, life is kind of trying to teach them to come out of it. Because, for instance, using the criminals as an example, I don't know many criminals who are just like, no, this is the life I want to live forever. Amen.
Truthfully, I don't know criminals, or as far as I'm aware. Um, uh, like in the classical sense of, right, I'm a robber, or
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah, yeah.
drug pusher or whatever. I mean, I'm sure I know a lot of people do criminal things, but they,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's understated. Like, I don't know, they chuck a cigarette out of the fucking car while it's moving. Yeah, it's criminal. Yeah, you're
How
gonna
dare
get
you?
fined for I know, horrific, whatever. But like, as in, yeah, I don't know, so I couldn't speak on their mindset. But what I'm thinking generally is that when they start seeing results from their criminal activity, I
Mm-hmm.
assume it goes one of two ways: is I'm going to use the results to get myself out of the criminal activity on a long-term basis, so I'm going to do it in a short-term basis,
Yep.
or it's, oh, I see results, actually I like what the results have, and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
continue
Mm-hmm.
because I want more.
Or yeah, or a mixture of both, where it's like, okay, this is not an actual example. I'm just saying it because it's first thing that came to mind.
Who
If
you
someone,
who you about to rat out, bro?
no, we don't snitch around here. But if someone was like, "Oh, my mum needs surgery," for instance, needs to pay for it, has to like go run with a crowd they know but didn't really want to mess with.
Can I just say, thank fuck we don't live in America,
Yeah,
because
right. Whoa.
boy, that is a genuine thing in America, that they have to,
Mm-hmm.
or they open up the GoFund. Thank God we've got, well, here in the
Yeah.
UK, I know you're in Thailand, but we thank God we got the NHS.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Someone has to go to the deep darkness of the world, and then they end up getting that money for their mum. She has the surgery. Luckily, she's saved. And then it turns into a situation. Once you're kind of mixed in that, you can't be like, all right,
Yeah,
guys, I
I'm
got
out.
exactly what I needed.
Peace.
Yeah, peace. Like you might have developed a lot of enemies. You might be in a gang or be in a crew that you just have to be in now because they not letting you leave, or it's just a situation where you get addicted to the life in terms of the rewards, like, oh, I needed to make this much money, I made that much money and more,
Oh,
and I've
now
been
if I
out
want to
here.
start making money for myself,
And maybe you're lucky enough where you didn't get involved in no gang or nothing, and it was just a crew of guys that are like, yeah, cool, we get why you needed to do that, go and do your thing. And then you go back and now you're working this 9 to 5 and you look at your paycheck and you're just like,
and you can work 200% effort at that paycheck and get the same paycheck as a person next to you working at 30% effort,
mm-hmm,
and it'll start
mm-hmm.
eating on you. It'll start eating
Yeah,
on you. Then,
100%.
at that point, is society telling you what's good and what's bad, rather than there being this intrinsic moral value within the human? Is there morality without something giving you morality?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because when we're talking about good and bad, it is very much on the definition of what we have assumed is good and bad.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and
True.
as we've grown up knowing, all right, this is right and this is wrong, it becomes so indoctrinated within us to go, yep, this is right and this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if you bought someone, per se, who was maybe feral, who hadn't had human society and human contact, and they came in, would their morality be entirely different?
Exactly. Exactly. And then that's the thing is I reckon at the core level of it, morality will be based on people's happiness. And I don't mean happiness in terms of I've got the latest iPhone. I mean happiness in terms of actually feeling like,
Contentness.
yeah, content, like you're a part of something, or you don't feel that alone feeling. You don't feel unaccomplished. You don't feel any of that. You feel good and loved with the people around you.
But again, that feeling of feeling good and loved and content differs so much for so many people.
It does. And going back to my original point, it's something you have to work for. It's not something that you're accidentally going to get the chance to just be like, oh, I'm actually really content today. Because
Yeah,
life
well,
just gave you this magical cold.
You tell that to someone who's been homeless, and then we've seen many videos of these influencers and whatnot online coming together and then getting them homes and getting them jobs and whatever, and they didn't per se have to do anything to achieve that apart from like going through a negative space. Maybe that is the struggle that they had to do to get to the good point, but the fact is they didn't actively work towards getting out of it.
But
But
someone did.
tomorrow,
But someone still did. Something had to be done to, like, because one argument I heard was like, okay, what about when you find money? First of all, how often does that happen? Second of all, someone still had to work for that original money to then lose it for you to
yeah,
find it.
So the question is then, in that regard, if someone were to find money, are you doing a moral good by depleting someone else of their?
Yeah, that's
Because
the
that
thing.
person's worked hard for it. You've
Uh-huh.
now gotten something cool. It might change your life. You might be able to help. Imagine you can take that money and actually help your entire community and lift a lot of people out of poverty. But
Mm-hmm.
you've now destroyed this one person's life
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
potentially their family's life. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's it's, it's almost the example of the train. And you're the mother at the train, and you've got your husband on one side, and you've got your kids on the other side, and you got to choose where you're pulling
Oh,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah,
the, the
yeah.
the question really, I guess, doesn't come down to whether it's right or wrong per se, because I don't know if truthfully there is a objective right or wrong. But what I can say is you have to look at the outcome of each one and go which one is preferable to you.
But this is why I specifically say positive and negative, because right, like we're saying in this, right and wrong is something that's based on morals or what we've been taught or blah blah blah. It's even hard to define, even if I say love, for instance. Yeah, we know
Yeah.
love is good, but yeah, okay, cool. But then there's so many ways that that can be twisted. Like, for instance, if there's a husband and wife who are in love with each other, and then the wife falls in love with someone else, is the love good?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Or in a really taking it dark and fucked up, as an
Oh, do I
as an
want to go
adult,
down here? This is a
as,
podcast, bruh. No, go for it, go for
as
it.
a as an adult, if you end up having feelings for a child,
Oh,
um,
fucking hell.
yeah, like and not to say that they're acting upon the feelings,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
if
just
they
having
if
them.
but just having them is something that they haven't really been able to control. The the,
Yeah.
the feeling, the chemical imbalances that happen in your brain just happen, right? It, it's clearly socially and morally incorrect, but it's not.
I think even in the universe it's incorrect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
But
no.
still,
Entirely.
technically that's our opinion. Do you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So
Exactly,
I know what you
exactly,
mean,
exactly.
but it's just like
So
something
then,
like that is just like so
yeah, no, it's
like
disgusting. Yeah,
goosebumpy.
no, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. It's nasty. It's nasty.
but no,
However, but
it's
then
wrong, you know.
when you're saying positive and negative, then you have to define what you define as positive and negative.
So it's and that's kind of in the way that I meant. So in the direction of where your life is going in towards being content or loved or not feeling alone or accomplished, successful, aka blah blah blah, whatever. That being positive and negative. So for instance, um, because another argument I heard
So
back.
now, so then, positive and negative is entirely subjective. We're saying.
Well, technically yes, but in the regards of, for instance, if I'm walking down the street, I need to stop saying in regards of, but if I'm walking down the street and I get bitten by a snake and I get poisoned and I lose a limb, to me that's a negative. And someone then said to me, "Oh yeah, but what if you're able to turn that negative into a positive by thinking like this is just the way life is and accepting what it is and so on and so forth."
It's not even that. That snake probably thought you were trying to attack its nest and it needed to defend itself. And for that snake's sake, it's done the most positive thing it could do, which is ward off someone potentially destroying its nest.
But you can even say the same with just random illnesses. And random illnesses aren't technically defending themselves from anything. It's just the way like this. It's the way this video game called the universe is set up.
Well, no, well, in the case of the random illnesses, that bacteria needs to survive. It's got an intrinsic notion that I need to go and survive. I need
Because
a host body to be able to take over to keep
yeah,
myself alive and
bec-
replicating.
because that is the way the universe is set up.
Correct, correct. It is set up like that.
It's all a part of the video game, and I can even say, oh, but if you turn it around by accepting it and accepting all the bad that happens to you, which is a good way of thinking. I think everyone should think like that. But you still have to work towards thinking that way.
Unless you're luckily born with apathy, the the
Yeah.
the, 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 the lack of care.
Is anyone born that way?
I'm assuming there are people out there that just don't care. So whether it's positive or negative, they don't care. So therefore, they're constantly content.
I know what you mean,
To be content, you don't have to be positive. You just have to not be negative.
but you mean more so in the way of accepting it, though, no? Because being born with apathy means you just don't care, and if you just don't care, you run the risk of not even feeling highs. and not
No, no,
feeling
no.
lows,
Correct.
but just
Correct.
feeling
Correct.
medium the whole way through, which
Correct. But
isn't
if
the
that's all
same
you
as
felt,
acceptance.
if that's all you've ever felt, though,
Yeah, but feeling medium the whole way through, I think that's kind of, and that's my assumption of a lot of sociopaths,
is that they just feel.
that they just feel medium the whole way through. If someone dies, as in like someone close to them dies, or they kill them, they don't feel anything for that because
But then why do they then have ambition? Because when you look at most, like, I mean, there's, I don't know if this is correct or whatever, but a lot of CEOs and whatnot have very high sociopathic tendencies, but they function well in society, right? But they have to have that to get there. So why have ambition?
yeah, because I think with most things you're on like a spectrum of it, you know. I love
Yeah,
that
yeah,
phrase.
yeah.
Yes, the spectrum. So it's kind of a case of I'm talking full sociopathic, because at least those people are functioning enough to still have ambition, which means they still care about something.
No, yeah, yeah, they definitely care. But usually it's about self. But yeah, they do.
But then those that care about nothing at all, and that's why I'm saying it's different between being apathetic and being accepting. Because I wonder if anyone's been born where they just truly, there's actually a phrase for like living life in this way, but I don't know, I don't remember it. But living life where you just accept everything that goes down and you're okay
Yeah.
with it. Like, okay, that's fine. Like, I get it. Like,
Do
it's
you
gonna
think
just
they're
be that
actually
way.
okay with it? Or do you think they have to lie to themselves to the point where they are for then finally okay with it?
And that's my point. That's why I wonder if anyone was actually just born that way, because I do believe people have been born in the opposite way where they don't care. They just don't give a fuck about anything. But then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
wondering if there's also been people born in the opposite way, because then that will help. That will help my go against my argument a bit, because then, oh, here's someone who didn't have to work for it, because that's
That they
kind.
were just okay with whatever life threw at them, regardless of what happened.
Yeah, because it seems like the best thing for most people to do in life is to get to the point where you can accept that life and everything happens to you is just going to happen to you, and you can only control what you can control, and what you can't control, it doesn't matter.
I feel like religious people are like that, though. I feel like people who've been born into a religion that has a direct
I disagree, my friend. I disagree.
guidance. I know, but if they follow the religion to its per se T, right? The sort of hallmarks of that would be, no matter what happens, God has put this in my path for it to happen. Therefore, it is fine because God wouldn't give me something I couldn't burden myself with.
Bro, the people I understand what you mean. In a perfect world, great. Unfortunately, with religion specifically, they put too much crap in there where it's like, okay, for instance, being against homosexuality. If you are not a homosexual, who are you to judge a homosexual?
I don't believe that's the case. I believe you can judge.
Why?
I have
Why
no
though?
qualms in
Because
judging.
no, because for instance, in Christianity, I was born into Christianity. It's like, okay, no homosexuality. Man should not lay with man. But then at the same time, humans should not judge man. So who am I to come out and be like, oh, what are you doing?
So I would say the way to get around that per se is because there is something specific said about the homosexuality, then you are allowed to make an impasse about that. You are allowed to actually make a judgment based on that because it's been said. But things that aren't said, you cannot judge.
But then that goes against things that you can control, and things that you can't control, do not control. Have faith that everything is going to be okay, because that's the core of every religion is faith, and the faith
Correct.
that everything's going to be okay and everything is planned out. So say for instance, because this is how I believe it, if there is a universe and something that actually created all of this, the level of maths that this being understands, they can work out every single thing that's going to happen before it happens, and nudge everything to make it happen in the way that they want it to happen, if they have an intention to interfere at all.
Correct.
And that's my point in having that faith. That should actually, because yes, I understand humans are going to judge. I judge people. I see people, I'm just like, you're this person, before I even really talk to them. And I always feel bad when they're not that person. But then when they are, I feel so gassed.
Do you know what?
I get
do you know
so
what?
happy.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad.
You don't feel bad?
Because, yeah, you know why? Yeah, because if I judge him to be X, Y, and Z, And they actually turn around to be completely different. I'm like, do you know what? Sick. They don't live by the stereotype that they may be portraying.
True. But then I feel bad because I'm like, oh, why did I believe they would live by the stereotype that they're portraying? Because people do that to me, so I don't like if I do it to someone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But for me, I've never looked at, if someone judges me based on how I look or what I'm dressed or whatever, I'll be like, yeah, cool, bro, that's you. I know what I am.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so for me, like the judgment aspect is going to happen. But if you truly have faith that everything that is meant to happen is going to happen, and you change what you are going to change, because technically the maths is already worked out, and I already know what you're going to do. You just have to do it.
Correct.
Then it's just a case of living your life. And I like Jordan Peterson. I think that's his name. That's how.
No, I can't stand the brother.
No, but I like one thing he says. He says, I don't believe in God, but I live my life as if he exists. And that's just dope, man.
Yeah, but then so if he's living his life based on the fact that God does exist, or assuming that God exists, whether he believes him or not, then he has to live his life based on a moral standard by someone else, right? By an external being's moral standard that he has to put on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that's the correct way to live it?
No one. That's what faith is.
He doesn't have faith. So when he's saying, I actually live my life as if there is a God, but you're lying. Truthfully, what you're saying is your morals are what you presume God wants you to be, and therefore I will put my morals not on myself, but I'm given the responsibility of what I believe into something else, even though I don't believe it exists, so that I can stay away from my responsibilities.
But that is kind of like, it's kind of a faith with it's kind of someone saying they don't have faith, or no, sorry, it's kind of someone saying they don't care, or I don't give a fuck, but you know they give a fuck.
I mean, yeah, that's usually when people say I don't give a fuck. That's usually when they give a fuck the most.
Man. And so him kind of saying that, if you're saying, oh, but I live my life as if he exists, you're kind of having a faith there. It's just that you're choosing to say it in just a weird way. But the fact that you're living life as if he exists, you're kind of having a faith in the belief, however this existence would want me to live, should be the way to live, even though I don't believe in him.
So what he's doing is extrapolating his own way of wanting to live, and he's like, oh man, if only people would believe how I wanted to believe. But you know what? People do believe in God. Yeah, do you know what? The way I live is the way God would want me to live. And then people are like, oh, okay, cool, you're following a God. I don't know. For me, especially because like I know is he Canadian, right?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
But yeah, so I'm presuming I'm this is me being ignorant, but I'm presuming like America, a lot of Canadians are quite religious. I'm assuming
no
there's
idea.
a big religious
I can assume
contingent.
So though.
And to then catch on to the people who are religious there, because that's a big population, and you want people to fuck with your shit. You can't just be like, yeah, I don't believe in a God, I do my own shit, because people turn around and be like, you're a heathen. Fuck you. We're not touching anything. You're a pagan. Your ideals and thing come from paganism. But if you say, right, yeah, I don't believe in God. No, but I'm with you. I will live my life as if there was a God. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I see your point. I see your point.
For me, that's not a genuine point that he's making. For me, that's him trying to cover people's eyes with wool.
But here's the thing. So I get your point, because I haven't thought about it like that. The reason why it resonated with me, what he said, is because it's different for me, because I believe there's something.
Yeah.
But if I was ever pushed to a direction where I didn't, I would still live my life in a way where I feel like I'm doing the right thing, aka as if something existed. But in the same way you just said, in if the intention is switched, where I'm just like, what can I actually say? Then I understand.
Yeah, like if you were to say that, I feel like I am gonna live my life to as if there was a God there, then the question comes down to is, what morals are you putting on that God that you want to portray? Is it only the stuff that you resonate with? Is it only the stuff that you agree with?
But that's the thing, though, is that what he said, right? Other than if you take away the ability for a malicious intent, if you take that away, what he's saying is basically what I believe the term is agnostic, what every agnostic believes, including myself, because I believe there's something out there. It's just that I live my life in a way that I feel that something out there would want me to live it. And because
But
of
isn't
that,
that just
but
isn't
because
that just you making yourself feel better by going, right? Well, at least the way I'm living my life is okay, because I feel like if there was a God, he'd be calm with the stuff I'm doing.
no. And the reason why for me it's not that way is because, like we were having a conversation about good and bad, I don't necessarily believe in the good or bad. I believe in the positive, and that sin is just a case of, if I do something that can harm me or harm other people, then it's like, nah.
Despite the outcome? Despite the outcome?
What do you mean despite the outcome? As in, if I kill like 10 people but save, like, create world peace?
Yeah, like, or you kill someone who was you didn't realize, but that person was about to go on a rampage or whatever themselves, and you've just gone and killed him because you're pissed off that day, and you walk past him and you just stab him. In your head, all you've done is been a bad person. You stabbed the person because you were angry, whatever.
Yeah.
But the outcome of it was without you realizing, because you had no calculation, you had no idea what was in his mind.
Yeah.
But you've ended up saving it. What's positive and what's negative there?
If it was for absolutely no reason, then it's negative to me, because I was not aware of
Correct.
what the outcome it was, and I done it for the reason I did it for. So
Correct.
this is the reason why I wouldn't do it, because for me, that sense of morality, so to say, because realistically, without believing, even if you don't believe in a God, just the fact that you're living a way to be on your morality kind of is the expression of, I don't believe there's a God, but I'm living my life as if he exists, in the way that you've formed your own morality and you stick to that code.
Correct.
So in terms of, yes, if I knew this dude was going to go on a rampage, though, bruh, he's getting it. He's getting it. He's getting it. But here's the thing.
And I'm gonna feel good while doing it.
Damn right.
But here's the thing, though. And so in those two circumstances, right? One, you feel absolutely shit for killing a guy that you had no idea was going to do this. Or two, you feel absolutely great for killing a guy that you had an idea that was doing this. Either way, the action's the same. So morality is not based off the action.
Yes.
Morality is not based off the action, then.
No,
morality is entirely based off intent.
100%, and that's exactly why I said I don't necessarily believe in a good or bad, in the way that things that are good can also be turned bad because of intention.
Yeah.
Which is why,
but now
for
intention's an entirely humanistic concept, no?
Intention is?
Yeah. There's no real, like, per se science behind intention. Intention is just how we interpret what something means.
Yeah, only because I would say only because we're able to communicate, though. But because I'm thinking about the animal kingdom, for instance. If an animal done something to another animal and felt remorseful for it and did actions to try and, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Would that be seen as intention?
Oof, interesting question.
Because then we will not be the only ones for that, because dogs kind of do that. Even though I read a stupid study, I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm saying I don't know if it's real or not. They said that they done a study and they don't believe dogs feel guilt. But anyone who owns a dog will tell you they've seen their dog feel guilty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because apparently dogs have this reaction. If your tone changes and you get mad at them, they kind of do this thing where they kind of like cower away and they look guilty.
Isn't that just them trying to protect themselves?
Exactly. So it's if this study is true, it's not that the dog feels guilty. It's the fact that the dog is feeling this kind of energy from you, and because they don't communicate with words, they can only communicate with body language and tone and so on and so forth. They feel like, I'm being told off, or I'm under attack, and you're their owner, so they're not gonna like fight you. So the only thing they can do is try and like show the kind of like that look, may be seen as guilt. However, who knows if that's true or not? Because people have said they've seen, like, people have had experience with dogs where it's not just the look, the way they behave is like, I've done something wrong.
Even if you haven't caught them on it yet.
Even if you haven't caught them on it. I've seen videos where like someone will come in and the house is trashed and they have like two dogs and both dogs are kind of like feeling like, oh shit, we're gonna get in trouble before the owner's even gone off.
Yeah. But was that from the moment the owner stepped in?
Yeah, so
Or was it from
as the owner steps in, I've seen videos where the owner steps in with the camera and is like, "Oh, who did this?" And not in like a tone of anger, but just like a, and the dogs look guilty. So it's like that's why I don't believe the study is true, because it's one I read like years ago, so I could even be making it up. Who knows? But my point is, then dogs have intention when they do stuff, and they will feel bad for it because they know what's right and wrong.
Because of what they've been told is right and wrong, right, by the owner.
Yeah, so if that happens in the wild, who knows?
Yeah, that's I mean, and if it does happen in the wild, I'm assuming it would happen in a position where they have to be in packs, and there is always the leader of the packs, even in the wild. That's just natural. Like, you got the lion who leads the whole whatever, or the alpha wolf that leads all the other wolves, etc., etc. So when you realize you've pissed off the big dog, you're gonna be remorseful because you don't want to get kicked out of the pack.
Yeah. So they kind of have like their own, and that's even another thing is I saw this documentary. Man, I'll be watching random stuff. I saw this documentary on like random animals that became friends, and there was like out in the wild, some leopard ended up running in a tree and killing a baboon. And the moment she killed the baboon, she realized that there was a like little baby baboon, and the leopard, I think I said leopard, felt so bad that it started looking after the baboon baby.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah.
Man.
So it didn't like. I don't think it lived for very long, but she did try and keep it alive as long as she possibly could.
Do you know what? She's clever, bro. That's good food for later on when you're scarce. That's ingenuity right there. You're thinking, I killed the mama. Shit, the mama can't make no more kids for me to kill and eat after. I've only got this one left. I know. I'll pretend to take care. Do you know how we take care of chickens and cows, bro? That's what that leopard was doing.
Yeah. That's all that was happening. Jeez.
Because the question is, when that little baby baboon died, did the leopard munch it?
I don't know actually. I can imagine if they did though. If she did, they left that part of the story out.
Yeah, because where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in talking about that?
But I don't think it attacked the baboon to eat it though.
Oh, was it defending itself, or
I don't know, and I don't really remember. But I don't think a leopard would eat a baboon, right?
Well, I don't know, bro. Food is food, bro. At the end of the day, you're scarce. You ain't had food for a hot minute. Kill or be killed.
All right, bruh. Let's get out of the deep zone for a second, because I'm telling you,
I wanna jump back to the point you were making earlier, though. So you said, for positivity, you have to put in work.
You have to for that feeling of content or love or success. You have to put in work.
Okay, is there an issue with that?
No, I'm not saying it as it's a bad thing. I'm saying it as just like this kind of
observation of life.
Yeah, like say this was in my mind. Say this was a video game. We kind of have the rules to it. We kind of have the rules in terms of like work on yourself and whatever makes you happy. Work towards that and control what you can control and leave whatever you can't.
So what I find is when people get really upset about certain situations that happen to them, that might not be ultimately madly negative, but it does feel at the time for them to be negative.
Oh, 100%.
It's because it's something out of their control. And it was never something that they could have ever changed anyway. For example, there's people who look at their parents for approval, right? And they've maybe spent a big chunk of their lives trying to gain that approval of their parents, and they never do. The parents just, they're just hard ass. You can imagine how our BAME parents are, that, unless you're a doctor, and then when you're a doctor, unless you're a surgeon general, and then it's like, why aren't you the CEO of the hospital? Like, you know how it is. Like, no, we're never going to give you recognition because blah, 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 right? And then there's, so the people that are constantly looking for that.
For the record, Shaf is Asian. Got a lot of Asian friends, so he's speaking from true experience here. All right, you can continue, bro.
And I'm sure many of you out there listening, the three of you that are there, one of you will probably understand this. And by three, I mean me and Sean and maybe the other one person we roped in to listen to it. But so they spent their whole lives looking for approval, and they get pissed off and they get grumpy and they get annoyed and they get really negatively put down when they don't gain that approval. right? But in their mind, that's what would give them peace,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. That's what they fixate on.
Now the question is, should they be focusing on finding something else that gives them peace instead? And how would they do that when they think the only way of doing that is the initial path that they've been on their whole lives that they've not been able to attain?
The tricky part of that, of course, see, here's the thing: is when we have these conversations, it sounds like either I'm saying I've got all the answers, or you're saying you got all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but I'm saying,
We ain't got none of
yeah,
the
we ain't got the answer. That's what we should have really
But
called this.
we know
We ain't got the
nothing.
answers, Sway. We ain't got the answers. No, but seriously, in that situation, and this is only my opinion, my 2 cents, I didn't have to really deal with this too much. I got a loving mum who expects
did
me
I.
to just be okay. That's it, you know.
Yeah, no, I got lucky with that shit as well.
But of course,
I got someone who encouraged my fuck ups.
but of course, we know people who have to live with this kind of, like, you know, burden of never being good enough for their parents, no matter what they do, you know. And that's kind of the problem, is unfortunately, if your happiness relies on another person, until you can communicate with that person and be on the same page, you're always going to be stuck in that. Which is why it's kind of the tricky part of control what you can control and then leave what you can't. Because those people fixate on that for it's kind of like a mental thing, bro.
It is. And the thing is, and that fixation has not just been 5 months or 10 months, but when it's essentially been a good 25 to 30 years of their life that they've been fixated on it, to then turn around and tell them, well, you got to focus on yourself first.
Yeah.
And they've spent what they think is focusing on themselves by making it to a certain position in life and whatever, and then not getting the gratitude they thought they deserved from doing it. Despite the gratitude should come from within rather than external. But when it's not coming from an external perspective, you're like, you just feel completely lost.
Yeah. But that's the problem.
How do you then?
I feel.
How do you rectify that?
Because I feel that no matter what it is, that's even a little kind of tricky. Other part about life is that no matter what it is, it's you versus you, and it will always be you versus you. So once you put your happiness or your if you know whether you'll be happy or not on someone else, it's never gonna happen. And that's why, like, so many relationships get destroyed, because people get into relationships like this. I'm with this person because they make me happy. What happens on the day when they can't make you happy because they're not an entertainment for you? Like, yeah, they can boost in your life in a way.
100%.
If your whole happiness depends on this person, whether it's partner, parents, fucking boss, like well, all right, you're gonna keep fucking chasing this dragon,
and you'll never, because ultimately, if you can't, the thing is though, are you copping out by making yourself feel happy for yourself? Because you may not have the standards that someone else has upon you. So you might be okay with, cool, for example, I got a 2-1 in my degree. And you might think, yeah, cool, that is blessed. That has got me very happy. I am at a good point.
For anyone not from England or the UK, that's just a high level qualification, but not the highest.
Yeah, but not the highest, right? So, but your parents or whomever, your friends, whatever, all could have got first or wanted first.
The highest.
You never hit that because the highest, right? But you never hit that because you were okay and content with. But here's the thing. They had an ability to believe in the faith that you could hit that. And you probably had the ability to hit it had you used their motivation for yourself. But the minute you used your own motivation and you just wanted to make yourself peaceful for your sake, you then no longer progressed beyond what you could have progressed. So at that point, is it not good to then look externally for motivation rather than internal?
No. And the reason I say no is there's 7 billion people on the planet, bro. Every person can't be the best at everything.
Well, you're speaking to the wrong 2 people. I
know, right? Because my point of it is, right, because here's my thing. I got no external influences telling me that I need to do this, I need to do that. But for me personally, like, I am that voice for myself. Like, no, that's not good enough. Do that better. Do this better. Do that better. Do this better. Even with how chilled I am.
Yeah, but that's really good that you've got that. But the people that have the ability to have that internal drive,
if you're someone who is into a sport, right, and you get so happy you get to play the sport every day, right, and you're playing it at a level that just makes you so happy, why should you get torn by what other people think, or even what you kind of torture yourself with the fact that you're not the GOAT, the greatest of all time? Now that just stains your ability to, all right, for instance, me and Muay Thai, like, so I do Thai boxing, and for me, I used to do it like almost religiously before, got really good,
Yeah.
then kind of took a break because I was like more focused on work. And now anytime I go back to it, I'm not as good as I was originally. And nobody cares except me. And because of like my own stigma with it, because before it used to give me this peace. I would go there, I would train, and I would think about nothing for the whole time I'm training. Nothing. And it would be like this form of meditation. But now, every time I go, because I'm so fixated on my skill level and where I was and where I need to get, and why am I so slow now, or why am I not this now, it's ruined that experience for me.
It's gone from a place of zen and peace to a place of progression.
Yeah.
And because it's progression, it's work.
And then you get all of the stresses and the pressures that either the outside world puts on you, because now you've put your happiness in other people, or what you put on yourself. Because I'm not saying if you don't care what anyone thinks, you'll be happy instantly. No, you're still gonna have to verse you.
Yeah.
And if you can find a position in life where you might not have everything, but you are so good and you are happy there, like I would definitely take that over any kind of success.
Yeah. Who's to say that isn't success if the person's feeling that is content? I guess, but humans aren't wired that way, bro. Like, humans genuinely are not wired to be in a certain position, to be earning a certain amount, or to be able to just be chill and be like, yeah, cool, that's it for me. We can aspire to, I want to be in the position of being, yeah, cool, that's it for me, right? But it's very, very rare you find someone that has hit a certain point and just gone, right, cool, I'm chill.
Unfortunately, because I feel like we are a mix of nature versus nurture. I think the nature is our souls, and the nurture is the world around us. And the world around us, and I'm not talking society when I say the world around us. I mean just the fact that we're designed as human beings to survive. And now we kind of live a life where
we survive without any issue now.
Yeah, we live a life where we're surviving, but for some reason we're so wired to gather, hunt, that we can't just be happy with the fact that we're at a stage in society, life, civilization, where everyone, well, not everyone, of course, there's so much fucked up shit that goes on in the world, but to a point where a lot of the world absolutely has pretty much everything and still is depressed and still is anxious and still is like hurting others and selfish and so on and so forth.
But without the ability for these people to have been like, I'm not content, there are so many things that just would not happen. And I mean that in positive ways. There's so many advances in every sector and every field that wouldn't be happening without, if people were just those people that could, by the way, be at the top of their pinnacles, to be the best scientists, to be the best mathematicians, to be the best medical people, to be all of that. If those people ever had the thing of going, well, I'm at a certain level, I'm cool, I'm chill, I don't really want to progress anything, it affects the rest of society.
Unfortunately.
So while we're in the privileged position of not having affected society, so we're like, all right, cool. Seeing as I'm not contributing to society on a larger scale like that, I might as well just be okay with life. That's kind of sad, bro. That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
because,
oh shit.
Because we need the world to be obsessed with better and better and better for whatever reason we do that.
For us to then find comfort in that. But then all it shows is that we're kind of useless in this world. But
there's only a certain amount of people that are okay in the world. Oh, bro, that's time. I had so many more interesting shit to say.
Here's what it is. We'll save for next week.
All right, bro. So I've been Sean.
I think I'm Shaf.
And I keep forgetting the name. That's Keeping Up with Nothing. And we're out. Pieces.